of How to Bloodborne, a series which just basically goes into detail of how the levels work, what to look out for, what you kind of need when you're going through it, but not super in-depth, just kind of like life lessons from a guy who's been there, you know? Kind of help you out, like if you get stuck, like if you're looking through, you're like, oh, I hate the Forbidden Forest. I don't know how to go through there. It's super confusing. I got you. I'm going to show you how to get through it. And it's woods, it's not forest. I knew I was going to get it wrong. The Forbidden Woods, for as confusing as it is at face value, if you don't need twin bloodstone shards, which we don't, literally just straight through it. And it's very easy to find around in it. Once again, I hate that jump is tied to the circle. Come up here, deal with this guy. Or run around him, honestly. See? We can finish him off in one now. We don't even need to follow up. And he fell through the earth. Two ways to go. The obvious path down there, or you can go through these little yellow flowers. This leads you to here. Another one of these guys. And a beast blood pellet. Or 3. This guy, honestly. Blood vials, need those. Cold blood, love it. You could go through there if you like having a hard time. Or you could go around to that. Red Lantern, as we discussed in the first video, that means you can talk to him. This guy's worth talking to. He gives you an item. We'll talk about it later. This is a shortcut back to the Central Yarnum, the first area of the game. The first graveyard you run into after you leave the clinic has a closed gate, and you get there this cave, basically. And it's a shortcut we'll come back to. It's not really a shortcut, it's a huge pain. But it's something we'll come back to when we're trying to get to one of the more end-game areas. Come up here, you end up on the roof. All these guys throw Molotov cocktails. If you're down below, you're kind of in the oil, which will make you more susceptible to fire damage. Which is a bad place to be if you've got people above you just raining Molotovs onto your head. This is probably pronounced Molotov, but, you know, whatever. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. The roof is also dangerous. Everywhere's dangerous. Again, not worth getting mad about. And if you're not into fighting your way back through everybody, this switch will actually kill that gun guy. See, we just got his XP. Drop down here, avoid him. We're gonna go roof again just to collect those souls. Or blood echoes or whatever. Been playing Dark Souls all day. Oh no! happening again. It's not happening again. Alright. Sloppy, but effective. It's done. There's my souls. Alright. Oof. Alright. Now with the roof, you can drop down. And our own Molotovs. You can see the oil debuff. It's that triangle. This part can be rough because of this cannon right here. Just keep running straight towards it. Let the cannonball hit behind you. Kill that guy. More cannon problem. Coming up on the first shortcut of this area. This place can also be confusing. There's a lot of areas, like that door back there. It leads to a person, which you can investigate on your own time. I'm just trying to show you how easy it is to get through here. You literally can just drop down between these two things, land on a barrel, and just run out this door. You don't have to worry about anything else in that windmill. This guy is terrible. Just run right past him. Oof. And panic roll a lot. As you can see, like, he'll poison you, he hits real hard, he takes 1,000,000 hits to kill. Ideally, you would run from him before he kind of knew you were there. Like, he was hard to beat it up on me. He already knew what he was into. More antidotes. This guy is sort of the PvE cooperation covenant guy. Oh god, I choked. Choked on nothing. We're not going to waste a blood vial healing from that. That's kind of the first, not even half of the Forbidden Forest. Seems super easy, just a big old loop. 2-shot, told you. Got her. Alright. We're going to dump everything else we have into strength until we get it up to 25. And now we're going to go look at this rune we just got. The covenants are all activated by the runes that they give you. So which of these runes in this fourth column you use will determine which covenant you have activated. You can only have one at a time, obviously. What this one does is you get a max HP boost of 2%, which isn't great, but it's fine. Another thing it does, if you read this, it will allow you to collect vermin from enemies when you beat them while you're cooperating. Vermin is what you turn in to further your relationship with the with that covenant. To be honest, it's not really very you're not really very likely to get a co-op partner in the Forbidden Woods. It was sort of weird that I got one just by accident back in the last video, which you should watch. Pro tip on elevators if you're new. You wait for the button to pop up, walk across it, it'll send it back up, so if you die, it's ready to go. The Forbidden Woods is confusing for a lot of people, but honestly, if you follow the lanterns, it's really just a straight rip. You don't have to branch out and get anything. I'll show you the one place where you do want to branch out. but you can run past all of this. Right here before the big snake. Go ahead and pop off. And right in here, you can run in real quick, grab your first chunk. And then just kind of make your way back to the road. There's a lot to see in the Forbidden Woods if you kind of get off the beaten path. There's a lot of secrets out there. There's some blood gems. There's a really unique outfit. There's a lot of upgrade materials, but again, if you've been following along, you really don't need them. Any of the lake runes you pick up are going to be damage mitigation. Ah, I missed. Oh well. So, pretty straight short shot gets you here. If you go up the stairs, you unlock the major shortcut back to the boss area. And one of the better rooms. Clockwise Metamorphosis will it increases your health. Also back in that area, you might have seen a quick glimpse of it, there's an old hunter bell. It's probably pretty helpful for this boss in particular, just because, well, you'll see, you can get real frantic real quick. Having someone else here to distract attention is very helpful. Melee guys are awful. I like to kill this guy first if possible, just because he's really the most annoying one to me. If you're in here by yourself, it's really best to just kind of run around. This big tombstone is really good for kind of breaking their line of sight with each other. At some point they're going to do this where they kind of whine. This is kind of the second phase, they all get new attacks. Oof. Got me. But again, that's fine because we can show you where the shortcut is now. The shortcut in the Forbidden Woods is a lot more difficult to find than most of the other shortcuts. Most of them you just get off the lamp, you run straight, and you run face first into the boss. Here it's a little bit more complicated. Starts off the same, just follow the lamps. You could run right by the snakes, they're not anything crazy. As soon as you pass them though, you want to take the next opportunity to break off of the trail. And that'll allow you to drop right down into where that hunter bell is, where this guy is. And this time we are going to summon some help. Just to kind of show like how much more manageable this fight is if you have one other person in there with you. So another aspect of multiplayer we haven't talked about yet is the bell ringing woman. Like any FromSoft game, initiating co-op also can initiate PvP. The bell ringing woman pops up as soon as somebody connects to your game, not before. She'll ring a bell, and if somebody's ringing a sinister bell in the area that's within your level range, they'll connect to your game and they can fight you. If you kill the bell ringing woman, nobody can connect. So if you know where she is, you can sort of mitigate PvP a lot easier than you can in like the Dark Souls series. So I'm going to run around a little bit, let my guy take some of the aggro, and just really concentrate on this guy. Another thing to keep in mind with co-op is that the bosses do get more health if you do co-op. But as you can see, having even just one more person in here makes this fight so much more manageable. Fine. The bad part is if they die, you're left fighting a boss that has more health than normal. See, there's the rally system coming back into play. Now the boss is going to do something here in a little bit, which is going to be terrible. And there's one left, it's not that bad, because you can stagger them out of a lot of their stuff. This is the move. We'll summon a bunch of big snakes. Keep jumping around. You should be okay. You think it's a good point to go ahead and get some attacks in, but those snakes do a ton of damage. You really want to get to step in when they do that. Got my 0 souls back. Again, we're following the plan. 25 strength, get our vitality up. Eventually I think we'll get our endurance up to 20 next, just so on the areas where we can spam attacks we can spam more. It also gives us more ability to roll around. And again, we're going to buy all the vials we can with our extra echoes. And then we're just going to go right back. You can spend a lot of time in the Forbidden Woods, but you can see we've only been in there 20 minutes and we've already beaten the boss. So we're going to go ahead and do the next area as well. It's also pretty short. It's where the game starts to get kind of weird. This enemy is called a Garden of Eyes. They open up... I didn't do it. But... They do this. They jump and they give you a frenzy. Frenzy builds up when you're looking at your enemy, you're running away. It'll eventually like go down if you're being calm. Or you can take a sedative and that'll clear it. But once frenzy builds up to full, it's 70-75% of your health. The easiest way to deal with these guys is just back up a little bit more than that, and then just hit them. We'll actually do it right on the next one. Just back up, let them blink, unload. So on that one, when I was almost at endurance, I finished off with a transform attack. Those typically take a little bit more endurance to pull off, but even 1 pixel of endurance left, you can pull it. It uses endurance, so it's a good kind of way to get a little bit of extra damage. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening back here. This thing, I don't know what. There's some fly guys down there, some stuff we don't need, but if you stick close to this wall you can avoid all of it. And you open up really the only shortcut that enters this gate. Up here there's kind of a PvP, like human PC kind of a person. Always leave yourself enough to... want to stick kind of close because she has a crazy ranged attack that she'll do. Oh, got me. So at the very beginning of the game, you start off in Yosefka's clinic, and if you go back there after you've kind of hit the first lamp, Yosefka's there and she gives you a blood vial, and she's like, hey, stay away from my clinic, I can't risk my people getting infected. And then if you go back a little bit later, Yosefka's voice is a little different, and she talks about how she wants you to bring people there, and she'll take care of them. It's a complete about face. And it turns out that Yosefka got taken out by a member of the Healing Church, and they're sitting in her clinic doing experiments on people. And if you send people to the clinic, like she says, when you come back, they will be turned into little alien guys. Now, interestingly, the person that took over Yosefka's clinic is this lady's partner. And we'll just let them fight. Yikes. The key that you need is up this ladder. The Lunarium key. The bell ringing woman is right here. This is what she looks like. As long as she's ringing, it's possible to get PvP. I don't really like PvP, so we're going to kill her. That'll stop the bell. That'll stop people being able to connect to your game. Old Hunter Damien died. I'm sure he fought a good fight. That lady is very tough. It's honestly fine. I don't know where she is. Oh. Oh, she went back to... Hopefully she still has any damage that Damien was able to do to her while we were doing that. I'll pick up my old echoes. And we're just going to sneak up on her. She has full health. Now we're just going to leave her alone. This guy drops a glyph called Eye that increases your item find. But we don't really care about that. This is the next boss, obviously. Not hostile until you are hostile to it. This is another boss that can feel swarmy and kind of get away from you real quick. But honestly, if you take it slow and just kind of take what they give you, like this guy, he wandered away, so he dies next. So these spiders have big old skull heads, so you can't hurt their head really well, but you can stagger them back and then hit their underbelly, which kills them in one hit. So it's 3 hits from the front or 2 from behind. But 10 spiders spawn each phase. The best way is to just kill the spiders and then get back to the boss. Like I said, as long as you pick your targets well, there's really nothing that they can do about it. So Rom, again, first phase, not hostile, you can hang out. One of the things you can do is, after you do damage, Rom will try to disappear, go into phase 2. If you time it right, you can do a charged R2, if you save some endurance, and knock her out of that and get a little bit extra damage in. We're not going to do that, because we don't really need to. I don't know why it zoomed in so much. We're basically going to just let Rom disappear when he wants to, or she wants to, technically. Because what we don't want is for Rom to go into phase 3, because then we'll have 20 spiders instead of 10 to deal with. Which we did anyway. Awesome. But that's okay, we're going to deal with it. You need to pay attention now, because Rom will start doing stuff like that. I didn't see him pop up. My bad. You see he stands up like that, that's when you know that the hail is incoming. And it's easy to avoid, you literally just run in a straight line. Just realized it is raining very heavily outside. So this time we're going to go a little bit lighter on the damage when we get to the damage phase of Rom. Having them all bunched up isn't ideal. Again, if there's one spider that's behind the rest of the spiders, that's the one you want to try to attack. You really don't want to be caught without endurance with spiders looking at you. I don't want to do too much damage. There we go. That'll put us into an easy phase 2. Phase 2, you gotta watch out for that right there. Just run, straight line, never hit you. And then just keep your eye on ROM. So it's a little bit harder just because you gotta watch the spiders and ROM, but there's an audio cue too. That time I didn't ROM, but you kind of hear the little... Oh, there we go. We're running. Circle back so we can get to the spider real quick. The best thing to do is every time you kill a spider, just kind of check up and see what ROM's up to. If you stay close, then he'll do his AoE thing. You don't have to worry about it as much. Again, phase 2 is just kind of an escalation of phase 1. You got the spiders, ROM starting to do stuff. Always pick on the loners. That'll give these guys a chance to kind of separate a bit. ROM's been surprisingly quiet. Now. If he does that, get out immediately. He's about to do a big AoE blast. It does a ton of damage. Oof. Phase 3 is almost no different than Phase 2. ROM gets a little more aggressive. He also does a little bit of a melee kind of a thing. And you see him pop up on his hindquarters, you just kind of... just run. Just pick a direction. You can even turn while running. Doesn't matter. If you see him stick his tail in the air, he's about to do his close range AoE thing. You can just run away from that. Stay pretty close. Going up. Again, just like with every other boss, just kind of know what you're doing, be patient, pick your windows, don't get greedy, especially with ROM. I could have gotten greedy and tried to hit that spider again, but I would have gotten faced by that ice. Oof. Double tapped me. Ice incoming. Pure audio cue. Honestly, I was a bit greedy on that spider. I didn't even take motive ice. As you can see, like, he upped the frequency of his attacks, giving you less time to deal with his spider friends. especially when you're close. And in a second you'll see kind of what I'm talking about with his melee thing. Oh god! Just mid-attack when that happened. You definitely want to be at full health on phase 3. Anytime you see him do anything, just get out. Especially that. That's the melee thing I was talking about. Oh, no way. That is awful. So again, same plan. Take out the spiders, take out Rom. With these guys, you want to get them from behind, but you want to be directly behind them because they'll poop webs on you for a lot of damage. Hey, it's my Echo. Lost track. Can't do that. This is AoE attack. Go off, come back in. As long as the spiders are giving you good patterns and Rom's not doing anything, keep going. Just make sure you keep the fight in front of you. It's really the only important part. Gotta be kidding. So fun fact, in the original patch, the original release version of the game, that move was nearly unavoidable. You couldn't just run from it, you had to actually dodge each individual ice cube. We're gonna get him this time, I believe. I have faith. And again, we're level 35, that's not really under-leveled, but casually when I get to this guy, I'm typically closer to 40, 45. I've also usually gone through, so I got some, not Yargle, but Yargle. So I've got some paper or some other kind of stuff, but this is more of kind of a basic kind of rundown. Don't get greedy, just run away. I heard the noise, but he did on the close range one. usually doesn't go too far like that. Ran myself an endurance hit. Always got to leave yourself an escape plan. Again, just be patient, be safe. Take what they give you. And now we're just going to do hit and runs on ROM. I'm not going to lock in because that'll get us stuck. Go ahead and heal that last tiny bit just in case. Oh god. Again, don't get greedy. I know you only have a sliver, but get it now and then not die again. Real quick, we're just going to look around for those echoes. Hard to see in here. I got lucky the last 2 times. That's where we need to go. Yep, they're gone. So immediately following that cutscene, you're kind of transported to the next area. There's not really any running or finding it. So his Rom is in the lake casting a spell that kind of protects the waking world from the nightmare. But when that protection is destroyed by you killing Rom, then you kind of see like the effects of everything. Like the moon is now all crazy, the sky looks wild, there's more powerful enemies, like it opened up this ritual site. But if you just keep running straight ahead, you get your lamp, go back to Hunter's Dream. We'll level up and we'll call that it for this video. Alright, so that'll be it. I'm going to start another one back up here in just a second to cover the next one. I'm just going to break it off here. What a terrible way to end the video.